Hey everybody, G. Kelley Dixon here. I just wanted to talk about a question that I get a lot. People come to me and they say, is now a good time to buy? And I got to tell you, everything that is going on in the marketplace, it's never a wrong time to buy. The question is how you buy. But there are a lot of things that are working in your favor, and I'm going to speak about it in this video if you are looking to purchase a property in the near future. So right now, we're in a market that I'm just reading something. We have the highest surge of new home prices almost in 14 years. I mean, housing prices are literally going through the roof right now, which is great for sellers. Definitely if you're in the market to sell and sell. But we have to understand what's really behind the pricing, right? People don't buy housing prices. It may sound counterintuitive, but what they're really buying is the payment. Is the payment affordable? As long as I can afford the payment, I'm getting the joy and comfort of the house. It just needs to be affordable for me. I don't necessarily care about the price. Which makes sense from a consumer perspective. Me as an investor, I always look at it from an investment perspective. Even my own house, which is absolutely, it drives my wife insane sometimes, but I feel like we have to buy right as well. Thinking in the context of a consumer, it's not a bad time to buy because of interest rates. And the reason I say that is, if you're worried about if you're going to just live here and you're not worried about selling necessarily, but you're looking just for affordability, you're not going to see these interest rates. We are going to have low interest rates for a long time because the Fed, they're not in a position to raise them. That's another video. With these historically low interest rates, I think you'll bode well if you can afford it. Do I think that the pricing increase is sustainable is a different position. I do not think that pricing can continue to go up for several reasons. The biggest being the amount of distress that is about to come to the marketplace. The reality is that there are a lot of people that can't afford their mortgage right now, that are behind on their mortgage, and they may or may not be able to catch up. And if we have high unemployment, we can start to expect those to mount. And if we start having falling prices and people start losing their equity, they're really going to question, does it even make sense to try to save something if I don't have any equity? At least people that think about the investment in the property in investment terms, like myself. I'm not telling you don't pay your mortgage if you go upside down. All right? For the record. So, with that being said, when you have debt that is this cheap, it actually works in your favor because your cost of capital is less than the inflation rate. The real winners in this market, to be 100% honest with you, are the people that are refinancing. And they're not making that as easy as the purchases, but the refinancers are in an excellent position. Particularly if you had a rate that's higher than the going rate currently. If you're in a position to refinance, and take advantage of the cheaper money, I absolutely would recommend that. But am I bullish on real estate currently? No, but I am bullish as the defaults mount and prices begin to drop. But I do not think that the increase in pricing is very sustainable. And the thing is, too, you got to understand that we had a lot of pent up demand. So normally I think that you would have in a normal market we would have had demand and it would have came at it over the course of time. But now we have a bunch of pent up demand that kind of just jumped in the market, and all this demand is kind of competing with each other to buy what's available. And we have less on the market, and we have a bunch of pent up demand that's jumping into the market that's kind of driving up prices. Another indicator that I look at, as they started peeling back the layers of the coronavirus restrictions, consumer spending kind of spiked, right? Because people started spending money again. I remember my first day in the mall. I didn't know where I was going. I just wanted to buy a shirt. Just wanted to buy something, right? So we've now are starting to, for the first time, the rate of growth is starting to slow down. So that initial peak or that pent up demand as it pertains to consumer spending for regular goods is starting to slow down. And I think as we go into the winter and typically the colder seasons, I think that we're going to start to see the demand for real estate start to somewhat slow down as well. In addition, again, to a bunch of layoffs are coming for a lot of major corporations. And they've started already and they're going to continue to pick up. So I am definitely not bullish in the short term. So if you are looking to buy a property and you can wait for cheaper pricing, I don't think interest rates are going to raise anytime soon. And I think that if you're in a position to do that and you have a job, I think the market is going to be in your favor. Right now, it's definitely a seller's market. On the other side of that, if you do not think you're going to be employed, may not be a good idea to buy a house anyway. But if it is a situation and you feel like you're not going to be able, you can get a job, but you're not going to necessarily show consistent income over the course of the next 2 years, and you need to make a move, maybe you do it now, maybe you don't. Again, if you can wait, I would, because I think at the end of 2021, I think prices are going to be a little bit different. I could be wrong on that. Unless the Federal Reserve and the government come in and start printing more money, all signs indicate that we're going to have more inventory on the market. If that demand doesn't meet that inventory, then we should have lower pricing. So again, G. Kelley Dixon, Englestone Real Estate Venture Partners.